my cheese, I ain't worried about the pasta. Baby, 9 take a fine on the round. They got hit up, might as well pop it out. Fire like a chopper, burn like a predator. Screens in the rain, predicting like the weather. Serve in my cup, can't go without my medicine. So fresh, like a big bag of peppers. Where is the letter? All they know is suckers. You know the money talk, you can ask Chris Tucker. I'm a country boy.
You can ask Chris Tucker there, Coop. Chris Tucker knows the Side Action Podcast. It's episode 24 of season 8. My name is Jim Weglers, a.k.a. Wegs. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Wegspool.
And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast. I can't believe we've done 24 of these episodes already. It just seems to fly by.
I forgot to mention, like 2 weeks ago, it was episode 250 already, this damn thing, but it's 252 now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming up on 100 episodes of Between the Benches. I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh man, I gotta plan. Like, what are we gonna do for the 100th episode?
Gotta do something.
Something. Yeah, the Century Club.
Century Club. So anyway, we're still in the deep freeze in Chicago and elsewhere. I mean, I talked to Sophia in Virginia and had to talk her through like digging out the car. She doesn't have a spade. If you got to dig out ice, guys, get a spade. The plastic shovel is going to break in that ice. Yeah. She ended up hiring a guy, got taken for a ride. What are you going to do? You know, you got to learn how to take care of the car. So
damn, taken for a ride. Like she got dropped off or like she got screwed on money?
The guy, posted on, and this is the thing. He's got some boyfriend that found this guy on Facebook, wherever, $75. And he shows up, charge her $100 for like 20 minutes worth of work. She was all pissed. I'm like, you should be pissed. You could have done it. I told you, just go to there, get a spade, maybe a little salt, put a little elbow grease, get a little workout going,
Yeah. That like the ice melt or that quick melt, whatever it's called, that purple stuff.
That stuff that'll eat through your floor. So you can watch yourself. It's like the blood of Alien. Yeah, that's what that stuff is. It's not pink Himalayan sea salt, guys. Don't put that in a drink or anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, what were you up to this weekend? Did you do anything exciting?
No, not really. We did the radio show on Saturday. Then we had a nice like Asian lunch. I can't remember. Yeah, did like the whole noodles and stuff, and then on football on Sunday. Just like everybody else on the planet. So
that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Football.
Been pretty chill. And we had the bowling on Tuesday, and then it's been kind of kosher ever since.
Yeah, can you show? Come on, don't hold back. Right. You finally got something you deserve.
Yeah, we finally got the 300 pin that we've been waiting on.
That thing, it's gleaming. Yeah. It's like it's like the sun. It's
all amazing. The way from April of last year.
Well, they had to custom make it. That's exciting.
Yeah, custom make it. Right.
You got to get 9 more, and then you can just use that as your pins.
Yes. Wow. I never even thought about that, but now there's my new goal in life to have a whole set. Yeah. So
amazing. Good, man. I didn't do much either. I know you rely on me. I did get out. I played volleyball. That was exciting. Nice. I'll tell you, I'm struggle bus, bro. I mean, between the intermittent fasting and like only playing once every couple weeks, like you just can't get your rhythm. I played pretty good for like 3 or 4 games. I did win half the games, but struggle bus. But then I went to Susan's party. Susan from volleyball. Susan Schmidt.
Oh yeah.
It was funny because Paul, Gabe, and Eric, who I was borrowing her car, and I don't know if you know Glenna, all of a sudden, like at 5 o'clock, I'm supposed to go to the party at like 7. She's like, I get a text from Paul. Hey, can you pick us up? I'm like, with Erica's car. I'm like, what time? Like 8:30. I'm like, like right in the middle of the party. But I did it. Just kind of like went to the party 45 minutes, drove for 2 hours in the horrible snow, drove back. She dropped me off, and she gets her car back, and that's that. No more car for Jimmy Wegs. Back to the grind. So, Pacheco gave me a ride in his orange shirt. And he always wears that shirt. And then on Sunday, I went to Four Shadows to watch the championship games. It was exactly as I expected. Nobody was there. There was like the second game, there was probably 30 people in the bar. The first game was like me and 6 people at the bar. It was just freezing our ass off in there. But
sounds like heaven.
Yeah, it was super amazing and great for a guy who's not drinking. I'm like, hey, what's up? But I was able to hit on some serious props, and they got on a prop with me. We'll talk about it in a minute, but they got on the Shaheed prop with me, so at least they all made some money, and we all had a good time. So
yeah, first drive too. You cashed that one in early, I bet.
Actually, thankfully we did, because he didn't get the ball the rest of the game. He got one bad handoff, and he cashed on that first play. And then on the other thing that we should maybe not talk about too much, but we've got this other podcast network thing that is just like all over our business. Like they're literally just message right now, this messenger stuff that we got into. It is what it is. Hey, what can you say? So anyway, what are you taking to the shed this week?
No, let's see. I had two. The first one up, I'm putting the Pro Bowl in the shed. It's dead. It's over. Cancel it. Figure out something else to do. I don't know what you're going to put in this, but get rid of the Pro Bowl. No one takes it seriously anymore. The fact that Shedeur Sanders and Keyshawn Nixon are both Pro Bowlers, it's just crazy. That just means that Trevor Lawrence didn't want to go. Justin Herbert didn't want to go. There's another AFC quarterback that I'm forgetting to mention that they had to overlook, or probably denied.
Like all of them? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Shedeur Sanders had 7 touchdowns, 10 picks, and I think he threw for like 1,400 yards in his however many starts he got. So,
right.
Yeah, he's in the Pro Bowl. So it's kind of a joke now. It's in the shed. See you later. I'm over it. I'm done with it. Find something else to do with the NFL players.
The Pro Bowl, and I don't know when year this was, and part of it is the decommissioning of the Aloha Stadium in Hawaii and Honolulu, which I have seen and gone to the flea market at. But ever since they took it out of Hawaii, it's just not as good. They don't play a game anymore, and that used to be a big thing. Let's go to Hawaii. It was like a bonus to go to Hawaii, and now you kind of go to Orlando and you play flag football. I mean, I'm cool with the test, like you're throwing the ball, like those accuracy throws and
the skills challenges and stuff.
Just do the skills. Who cares about the game? I mean, flag football. Come on, really?
Yeah. I don't know why they took it out of Ohio or out of Hawaii. That was kind of where it died, honestly. When they moved it to Orlando, it kind of died.
The stadium is kind of, I'm not saying it's condemned, but they don't use the stadium anymore. The Aloha Stadium is like not usable. It was a failed financing that was supposed to be redone and never got redone. So it's just standing there. Nobody's using it. There's a flea market in front, and like the Hawaii Rainbows, poor guys, they're playing it essentially like their practice facility. They play their games at their practice facility. It's really sad out there. So a little blame to the Hawaii team, but in the end, I agree. They should infuse some money out there and make it something. Do a Super Bowl out there. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh boy, could you imagine? Oh man, yeah. Right. The Asian ratings would be huge, I bet. Yeah. And then the other shed this week was Bill Belichick. He got denied voting or entrance into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on his first try, and everybody had a nice big uproar about this. So he kind of got taken in the shed this week. If anything, maybe it was just payback for him being an asshole for 25 years. I don't know. I don't vote. I don't have a vote. So
yeah, it's interesting you're putting Belichick in, not the voters, but it's the same concept. I mean,
he was the one that got the brunt of it. He's the one that's probably most affected by it. So that's why I put him in the
other podcast, that Lockdown Coverage podcast, on Tuesdays, we talked about this. It's like, if he can't get in first ballot, nobody can. I mean, come on, give me a break. Six Super Bowl wins. I mean, he took 2. He won 2 with the Giants as a defensive coordinator. Yeah. What does it take? What's the criteria? I saw, like, I think he was joking. Ryan Leaf was like, well, he did lose to Nick Foles. I'm like, okay, what is it?
Well, the other thing too, the president said with other like Vince Lombardi had to wait 5 years until he got in, and he's literally the name of the trophy. So no coach has ever gotten in within that 1 year time frame, because they just started making. Apparently, they made a change or a shift to where like these throwback players and people that have done things for the game, and then coaches could get in like a year early to where players have to wait 5 years or whatever. So
yeah, it's a little tough, because I did hear that there were a couple people they were talking about that they might be their last year of eligibility, so they voted for them instead of Bill, but he's going to get in. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Ken Anderson, shout out to Ken Anderson. Yeah.
Shout out, old school throwback. I'm taking Sean Payton. It's more than just kicking the field goal, because we all were screaming it. I know it's 4th and 1, but you are winning in this game, and you have a chance to go up 2 scores at home. Maybe you didn't know the weather report, fine, but stop outsmarting the room. I think that he was loving himself the first half because he was like, I'm calling the perfect plays. I'm making Stidham look good. I'm moving the ball. We're dominating this team. And then obviously in the second half when the weather flipped, he looked like a complete idiot. So, Sean, just learn your lesson. I get it. Analytics, blah, blah, blah. You're going to go for 2 touchdowns. Didn't happen. You lose. I'm not saying they would have won the game, but 10-0 would have felt a lot better when the snow was coming down in the second half.
I think there was like a stat to where if you lead at any point in time in a conference championship game by 10 points, you have like a 93% chance of winning that game or something. But yeah, I told you he's an egomaniac. He'll do anything to make him and he'll find ways to screw games up just because he wants to take all the glory. So
he
good
did.
for him.
He did in the game against the Bills. We're not gonna run it. We're gonna throw it. He got bailed out there. He got bailed out, right? In this game, I don't know, whatever. So that's one. The other one I'm going to put, even though it didn't cost him the game, but it was close. Seattle's cornerback Tariq Woolen. He had the taunting penalty, which I think was totally fair. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, dude, he's taunting first. The ref says something. He goes on their sideline and gets in their face. Dude, the game's not over. You just got off the field on 3rd down." Like, just walk to the sideline. You know what, Coop? That was the only time they converted on 3rd down in the game, the Rams.
Yeah, I think I did see that.
It was like, and then the very next play, good for the Rams, just going right at him, and Puka scores a touchdown the very next play on him. So, guess what, Tariq? You understand what you need to do in the Super Bowl. Keep your yapper tight.
Just a mess. What a mess.
And lastly, I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to do Papa Wegs. Papa Wegs you can't call me before the podcast and rile me up, talking to me about my nephew's graduation in 5 months. Like, it's not your place, my man. Not your place. Just chill. Show up when it's time to show up. Go to the thing. Slip them 100 or whatever you're going to do. Like, just calm down. My sister can plan a celebration.
He needs to get internet before he can start giving us, advice and start making plans.
He has no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi. Yeah, he probably calls it Wi-Fi. That's probably what he calls it.
He has no Wi-Fi. He has internet on a terminal computer, like on an actual desktop. He can he bangs out some emails because he'll tell me all about the coaching searches out there. He's blasting the Raiders right now, but he does not have a laptop. You go there to work, you cannot do it. You have to do a hotspot. And usually he's in deep, like outside of civilization, so there's no internet. But anyway.
Well, shout out to Papa Wegs. We love you.
That's Papa Bear. Okay, let's go Club Dub. I'll let you go first as I take a breath.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll let your blood pressure come down. I got to go Keaton Wagler. He is a freshman at the University of Illinois, but he scored a career-high 46 points, including 9 3-pointers, as the Fighting Illini upset number 4 ranked Purdue 88-82 on Saturday. A lot of freshman records with this one. Outstanding performance, and the Illini are back. They're all the way back. They're
really good. They're really good. We'll talk a little bit. He's one of many freshmen lighting it up in college, which is exciting to see. Even though Action, former co-host, was a big Purdue guy, I love seeing the Boilers going down because they had their big run, and now it's like they're a really good basketball team. But to your point, Illinois, kids a baller. They got a lot of good scoring on this team. This team can really put the ball in the hole, so they're going to be a fun watch now in March.
Yeah. And we're almost there. We got a month. We got a month until March is here.
Did it? I think it was what's his name? It was Scott Van Pelt was like, "Oh, we've got like 8 weeks or something." He was like, It was 100 days. It was 100 days on Monday till March Madness starts or something. I'm like, 100 days. Right. I'm going to be at school. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, rub it in. Anyway, and then the other Club Dub I had was Patrick Kane. So he had 2 assists the other night in his the Red Wings 4-1 victory, but he tied Mike Modano atop of the all-time point lists for an American-born player in the NHL.
That's awesome.
The Red Wings are playing tonight, so he has an opportunity to become set himself apart, to not be tied anymore, to be the all-time American points leader. He will definitely be probably the best American-born hockey player we've ever seen for now. for now. But
He'll
shout
always
out to
be a
Patty
black
Kane.
hawk in my world. I don't care if he plays for another team. He'll always be our squad. Made it happen for us.
Yeah,
that's great. He's a great player. So fun to watch. Decade ago, watched a lot of games. He was just so fun to watch.
Oh yeah, him and Taze, and then him and Panarin and Taze, and just insane.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Sam Darnold in Club Dub. The redhead got it done. Gingers unite, baby. Get in there. Art can show you around. I'll tell you about Art's adventures in Miami. He's been in Miami for a while. I just got back. But anyway, Sam Darnold threw for big yardage in this game. And I don't know if this is true or not, but you should know this. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up. Matt at the bar, shout out to Four Shadows. He said that Sam Darnold is the grandson or great-grandson of the Marlboro Man. Have you heard this?
No, I have not. Is this real?
I am sure
keep filibustering. I'll look it up.
I did not get fooled by AI. This would be Matt at the bar, but like that's a pretty awesome thing. So not only did you get to your first Super Bowl, you're kind of getting the monkey off your back. You win this one. You played a great game against Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 340 whatever yards. He's supposedly the grandson of the Marlboro Man.
Not supposedly, he is. Sam Darnold is the grandson of the late Dick Hammer, who was
First of all, shout out to Dick Hammer. What a name.
Yeah. Who is one of the iconic Marlboro Men models in the 1970s and 80s. Hammer was also a USC basketball star, a Los Angeles firefighter, and a 1964 Olympic volleyball competitor.
Look at this, the Marlboro Man. So Sam, he's got I'm not trying to get you to smoke, Sam, but maybe you just do a little campaign. I'll put the hat on, ready to go.
Smoking Sam Darnold instead of Jay Cutler. Yeah, there it is.
That's going to happen. It's going to get an endorsement. And the other one I put, of course, Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua had in the loss had a monster game, 165 yards receiving and a touchdown. I mean, that guy is just a beast. I mean, him and JSN just had a really fun. It was kind of a duel because they don't against each other directly, but it's fun to see that dude play. And too bad he didn't get out of bounds. He had one more chuck from Stafford to go deep.
Yeah, literally. That's what you took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, he needed to be 1 inch taller so he could have gotten out of bounds, and maybe magic could have happened. Yeah,
exactly. Well, let's talk about the Champ Sunday. We referenced it already. The favorites actually they split. Because Denver did cover the total. We cover the number at 4.5, winning or losing 10-7. So that was good. And then obviously Seattle did cover the number, and then totals were split. So it wasn't too much excitement on that end. First game, we kind of already referenced it. Denver in complete control early, but unfortunately, Jared Stidham, he must have watched a lot of C.J. Stroud play. When you get flushed in your face and you're turned to your left, the best thing to do is do something stupid, like do a chest pass to the sideline that I thought actually got deflected. It probably shouldn't have been a fumble, but either way, just take the sack, brother. And that set up New England for the touchdown, which didn't completely flip the game. It was really the snow in the mid through third quarter.
No, it flipped the game. It flipped the game. The Patriots were not moving the ball at all on that Denver defense until that play happened. I was texting you, literally, the Patriots were going to win that game without scoring an offensive touchdown. That's because it should have been a defensive touchdown.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have been an offensive touchdown. Yeah, so that's what's insane. Drake May, first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 88 yards in an AFC championship game and win the AFC championship game. Actually, any championship game, AFC or NFC. So, yeah.
The one cool. I will give New England, they ended up 9-0 on the road. So they obviously, even with a weak schedule, won some big games on the road. And more importantly, May got the anytime touchdown. Ding. And really was just all unders for the rest of it. I of course didn't hit my other stuff, but Harvey had receiving over and Mims over. Other than that, that game was brutal.
Yeah, it was just his legs were a big factor, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that again in a week and a half here. So in the second game, much better game obviously to watch. Seattle just outdueled the Rams. I mean, we talked about Darnold playing great, went over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but Stafford played great too. I mean, they did sack him once, but he threw for 350 plus, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. And he even had the big conversion on 4th and 1. You see a little shake and bake.
I was gonna say he scrambled through DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah, that was the play of the season for Matt Stafford, probably.
Gave him a shot. Shaheed's what I mentioned before. I actually did total yards on Shaheed, and I juiced it up to 50. So I think the total yards was supposed to be like 34 or something like that. I took it all the way to 50, and the one play, it was exactly 50 yards. It was 50 plus.
Hell yeah.
We were like at the bar when he did the reverse, we're like, don't lose a yard. Don't lose a yard. Because he was right at the stick.
Yeah.
So he hit on that. Both quarterbacks went over. JSN, Puka, Adams all went over. I was a little surprised. I shouldn't say I wasn't surprised in the game, but Cooper Kupp made that big play. What do you think? Do you think let's walk through that play. What happened late was it was 3rd and 7 or something with 3:20 to go. Pass across the middle to Cooper Kupp. I thought it was a catch. I did think it was a catch and not a fumble. But in the replay, I don't think he made the first down. I mean, I think he was short. But obviously, McVay had 2 timeouts, not 3. He didn't throw the challenge flag. He just called the timeout, hoping they'd replay assist it, and they didn't do it. And
right.
that basically killed another 3 minutes on it. I mean, they got another first down or 2, but that was a good play.
I just thought it was like, I don't understand the process of completing the catch anymore, because this was, to me, this was like exhibit A. Like, if that play happens in the end zone, that's not a touchdown. Like, they would take that touchdown off the board, I bet. Like, they would not call that a touchdown. So that's why I don't get is like, he didn't survive the ground with the ball. So I don't know. That was my big thing. My biggest takeaway is that if the Rams could find a punt returner that could catch the fucking football, they wouldn't even be in this situation. So,
oh my God, he just muffed and he fell back on his ass. Boom, right
yeah, and hit right in the shoulder.
The first time hit him in the face mask.
Yeah, and it bounced perfectly right to him. Yeah, it's like the special teams. It's crazy how many. I feel like we could go through. Maybe we'll do this on a later episode. I'll do some homework and see like how many teams like should have probably been in Super Bowls or won Super Bowls, but their Achilles heel was special teams. I feel like there's always a great team out there that always has a block kick or a drop punt or just something terribly wrong happens on like a side of the ball that really no one talks about enough. So
I'll tell you one time from memory, it was that San Francisco team under Harbaugh. It was the year before they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Shanahan even. He's always had.
It was Kyle Williams. He did the same thing. He muffed it. And the Giants scored, and that they actually went to the Super Bowl and won. They beat Brady that year, but it was like that one play cost them the game. I mean, those are in a close game. It makes a difference.
It's just insane.
Yeah, so it sets us up. We've got a big Super Bowl, which we'll talk more about it next week. But right now, actually didn't check today, but it opened, about 4. Now it's like 4.5 to the Seahawks being the favorite. 46 between 45.5 and 46 points. That'll be on Sunday, the 8th of February at 5:30. Do you have any early leans right off the cuff, or you just want to wait till next week?
I love the under. I'll tell you that much. I feel like there's got to be somebody else other than JSN that's got to have a decent day. I just don't know who it's going to be yet. Is it Jake Bobo? Maybe it's Jake Bobo.
What about Hulami, the running back, Hulami, who came in? He was actually the one who took the carries that I thought Shaheed would have, because he actually got 6 or 7 balls both out of the backfield and runs.
Yeah. By the way, spreads at 4.5 currently still. So I like the Patriots. I like the Patriots. If they keep getting points, I'm going to take the Patriots because I think they have the and I'll save the rest for next week. But I think they have the greatest single advantage going into this game between both teams. And that is the fact that literally the whole world is going to tell them they don't have a chance to win this game for 2 weeks. And I think Mike Vrabel is a good enough coach to where if you give him that kind of motivation to feed his team, they'll find a way to keep it close.
When you have 13 ESPN experts pick the Seahawks, you got to be worried if you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah. And that, like I said, I think that's the greatest single advantage that either team has going into this game is the fact that, no one believes in the Patriots right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it goes up to around 6, and I take it. 4.5's fine. You can take that. It's above a field goal. That's a good situation. It's hard for me to envision the Seahawks losing the game, but Darnold turns the ball over. Maybe a big play from the running game, or Drake May makes something happen. You never know. I mean, one thing I will say after the Seattle Rams game, clearly the Rams can move the ball. They move. They have like 400 yards of 450 yards, 474 yards of offense in this game. For some reason, that's the only team that can take out Seattle. Maybe they can pick some things up in terms of New England going against Seattle in a perfect environment. Who knows? I do have that
479 yards of offense, by the way, like you said. Yeah.
But I do have JSN MVP for the Super Bowl at plus 1,700 already in pocket. I did that like the divisional round. So I've got that sitting there. And I ended up doing a little James Hedgerton the third, did a little Darnold on the other side. So if Seahawks win, I have a good shot. Doesn't mean those guys are going to win. So it's not a pure hedge. Yeah. But the only way I can do it, otherwise you're kind of just waiting. So I'm in on a couple of props. I'll talk about it next week.
Maybe a Patriots touchdown, because I think that Mike Vrabel is going to make Sam Darnold beat this team. I think they're going to take Kenneth Walker completely out of the game. They're not going to let Kenneth Walker make the game easy for Sam. They're going to make Sam Darnold drop back and make some high level throws, some plays to actually beat them. And I maybe he, like you said, maybe a mistake pops up or two. So
yeah, Christian Gonzalez is going to follow JSN everywhere, and then they're going to double him, right? They have to do that. You've got to make sure you can go to a security blanket. You probably like the cup. We'll talk next week. We'll probably like the cup, futures. You probably, let's say he gets he's only supposed to get there's going to be somebody else who's going to get the ball, right? Maybe it's Shaheed, but they're going to try to take away JSN at least. So yeah, I do like the Patriots to score first. They've done better in the first half. Money line first half for them is usually a pretty good bet. This season, it didn't come to fruition against Denver, but in that first half did cover, like we said. So we'll talk about next week, dig in a little bit more. But yeah, I agree with you. I like some Patriots side stuff.
Maybe Blake Corum. Oh no, maybe not, because Blake Corum's not in this game. But I was I'm reading the wrong side of the screen. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna say, and you know what, how I am. I like the booty. I like Kayshon Boutte.
Nice.
Booty. I like him in the first touchdown prop. I already did it, and I already did his anytime. So he's just a stud. Now, granted, they have a pretty good defense, but they've given up. I mean, obviously, JSN can get open against Seattle. Can't Kayshon Boutte? I mean, I think they don't have that lockdown corner like Denver did. Obviously, Surtain put a glove on him all game. So,
well, then I was trying to look too. I saw a stat that everybody's talking about the Patriots schedule and how easy it was, but if you take out the divisional games that Seattle has to play, being in NFC West, that they didn't play a very hard schedule either.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, they played Houston. They played.
Here you go. Seahawks since the Week 8 bye. They got an injured Jaden Daniels, a backup in Jacoby Brissett. They played a divisional quarterback. They played Cam Ward, Max Brosmer, Kirk Cousins, Phillip Rivers, another divisional quarterback, Bryce Young, another divisional quarterback, and then 2 divisional quarterbacks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
no, I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just, their division alone is better than anybody besides the Bills. Like the Bills, the only team that the Patriots really played that was tough.
Hey, the Finns are frisky, all right? Let's not get carried away.
Of course.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers.
All right, let's talk college basketball. We'll try to go over all this stuff quickly since now after, we'll focus on college basketball after football season. I'm going to be crying. Let's go over kind of conference, the big ones, and then some teams, and then we'll talk about who we like big picture. In general, as I mentioned, I'll kind of go through some of these. The freshmen's class this year is insane. There's like 8 or 10 guys that are really good that have come in and immediately helped their teams. But on top of that, what's really weird is, because there's money, there's NIL money, all these guys from Europe are playing now in college basketball. And we'll talk about what's the Alabama.
And pros are leaving the G League to go back to school. Isn't it crazy?
Right. Which, we'll talk about Alabama. No, the dude is, what's his name again? I keep writing it down. It's Charles Bediako. He was in the G League. He's obviously get a better check at Alabama. He hasn't been deemed eligible, though. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Let's start at the top. Big Ten, not that they're the top, but Big Ten, a really good conference. We know that Michigan started off guns a-blazing, but they've kind of had, they're still 19-1. They're really good, and they're the short shot to win the Big Ten. They're the second shot for winning the Natty, I believe. So plus 450. They have NBA talent. They're the highest scoring or 9th highest scoring team in the nation. Have you gotten to see them play at all yet?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. They are the second ranked team in Ken Palm, which I know you swear by.
Oh, I do.
They're great. Their net rating is really, their net rating is plus 35, which is crazy.
Yep.
They're top 5 in defensive rating. They're top 10 in offensive rating, which is kind of that formula you look for.
It is.
And they play Ohio State, I think, coming up, or they just beat Ohio State this past weekend, one or the other. So
yeah,
they're a good team.
They beat Nebraska this week, but they were trailing big. They actually came back to beat Nebraska. They were at home, and that kind of leads me to the second team.
Oh, that's right, because Nebraska was like 12-point underdogs or something. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was an insane number.
They were undefeated going into the game, and then they blew like a 14, 13-point lead in that game.
Which is,
So Nebraska's right there with them. They're plus 300 for the Big Ten championship, but surprisingly, they're plus 3,000 or 30 to 1 for the title. I'm like, something isn't lined up here. This team's pretty good, right? Maybe we should look at this. I was thinking about putting a future on them, because how can they be 20-1 and be right at the top of the Big Ten, but be 30 to 1 to win the title?
And they've beaten Illinois and Michigan State this year within like a couple weeks of one another too. Now it was by a combined total of 5 points. They beat Illinois by 3 and Michigan State by 2.
That's right.
But they do play Illinois on February 1st, which is coming up. Was that Monday? I think.
Yeah, February 1st. Sunday.
No, Sunday. So they play Illinois on Sunday, so that'll be kind of a big test. Then they have Purdue 9 days later. So we'll learn more about this Nebraska team. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, that's the best basketball conference probably in the country, I'd say. Like when you're 20.
The Big 12. I mean, it's hard. Like they're like the Big 12. They're a little top heavy. Like the teams will go over here. You mentioned Michigan State. They're 19-2 plus 700 for Big Ten. You got Illinois. I have to kind of extrapolate because we can't bet on them here, but I've got them 7-1 to win the Big Ten, and then 1,700 to win the title. They're 17-3. You mentioned Purdue 17-4.
Yeah.
Purdue has lost back-to-back games, though. They just lost a game again this week. They dropped to the 12th ranked team in the country, and so they've dropped to plus 2,500 for the Big Ten, which is kind of crazy. But what are you going to know? But they're very senior laden, whereas a lot of these other teams, Izzo's team's a blend. Illinois has got a young team, and but Purdue's top 3 guys are seniors. So to win the title, you usually have to have some age on there.
Well, you have 12 teams in the Big Ten that are currently over 500, and then out of those 12, you have 10 of them that have 15 wins or 14 wins or more. Yep. So, I mean, it's a pretty deep conference.
Not bad. Not too bad.
You're probably looking at like 9 tournament teams, I'd say. 8 or 9 out of this conference.
Jess was doing that before the pod and get it all done. But, yeah, I think they will have 8 or 9 teams. It just depends. Because Iowa's pretty good. They've gotten some wins. Ohio State, you mentioned.
Yeah.
We'll see if
Indiana, USC. Washington is kind of right there. They're on that bubble. They're 11-9, but they do have some good metrics.
Them tonight, so don't worry about that. But
okay.
And then let's go to the ACC. Not as strong as the Big Ten, as you mentioned. I should have put them in strength order, but you've got Duke, the 4th-ranked team in the country. They're 19-1. Do you see what they're minus 1430 to win the ACC, Coop. They have a stranglehold in it, but they're plus 800 to win the title. They have the Boozer twins. This is one of Boozer's kids. Cam Boozer is definitely the better of the 2 players, but Caden's a good player too. They're 13th in defense, and Cam Boozer is 2nd right now. I mean, it's really tight between him and that AJ guy from BYU on leading the nation in scoring. I got to watch them play the other night against Louisville, and they just shut the door on them in the second half. It was a close game, and then all of a sudden, boom, they beat them by almost 40. It was like 33, I think, was the final score that they beat them by. And, Louisville's not a bad squad, but their defense is really good, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they're top 5 in offensive and defensive rating right now. They're 5th in offense, 4th in defense. So, I mean, you mentioned the Boozer twins already.
Evans is the baller, too. Evans is one of their forwards. He's a small forward. They're really good. And then we've got Virginia's back. They're playing pretty good. They're 17-3. Clemson is 17-3.
Yeah, I was going to say Clemson's in there. Yeah, Miami
16-4. Yeah, Miami's in the mix. Now, Louisville's metrics are good, but they're 14-6. They have that freshman, Mikael Brown. He's really good. He's like a 6'5" point guard that can just do everything. Got a great head of hair as well. A good ball player. And then North Carolina's got the freshman Caleb Wilson, who's like super athletic scorer for them. It's going to be a fun tournament for them, the ACC tournament.
Yeah, back to Louisville, they are 13th in offensive efficiency, but 39th in defense. So that's probably where you'll see when you play good teams like Duke, they kind of take the advantage of them. And then North Carolina, same thing, great on offense, they're 20th, but on defense they are 56th. So
defense overrated.
they're going to have to figure that out if they're going to play games later in March and maybe April. So, but I remember seeing that the kids were camping out at Duke for Duke and North Carolina tickets like last week already. So
as they should. And then we move to the Big East. Really not a ton of teams to follow here. UConn is the main team. They're the second-ranked team in the country at 20-1. They're minus 670 to win the Big East. That actually came down because St. John's got a big win. They're plus 1,400 win of the title. That's 14-1. And then St. John's just got ranked this week at 25th. They're 16-5. They're plus 300 to win the Big East, 70-1 to win the title. You know Patino, like he's got his guys playing. They just murdered somebody last night. But the Big East is a little soft, and Nova's probably the only team I'd really watch other than them. Maybe Seton Hall. Creighton got a really bad. They were supposed to be good, and they just fell on their face. So I don't know if they can still make the tournament. Nova's at 15-5.
Yeah, I think it might be time to call it that UConn might be frauds. I mean, they're really good defensively, but they do not put the ball in they struggle to score points. And they're like a poor man's Houston, maybe is a good way to describe them right now. They're very ferocious. They play physical, but they lack the scoring depth that I think you'll need to have success later in the season.
Yeah, to get past the Sweet 16, you're going to need some offense. I heard an interesting stat on a podcast today that in 2020, Gonzaga was the number one offense efficiency team in the country, and their rating on KenPom was a certain number, right? That same number today in this modern college basketball would be 36th.
Wow. So
the offense is off the charts now. There's so many teams averaging over 80, 90 points a game. They're playing faster, obviously shooting more threes and stuff. So just to give you an idea that they score to win.
They're averaging 78 points a game as a team right now. That's 150th in the country.
That's crazy.
That's fascinating, actually. That's the fact that 20-1 is insane because, I mean, you look at some of this, I mean, they've beat DePaul, they've beaten Seton Hall, but they're only scoring 72, 69, 64, 75. You know, they scored 87 in their last game against Providence, but
it's considered a grind team, even though they're scoring in the 70s. We'll see if that changes, you know, if they allow them to play a little more physical. Mm-hmm. Speaking of physical, this is the Big 12. I would argue with you. Now, the bottom of the Big 12 is not so great. The top is incredible, though. You've got Arizona, who's undefeated, 21-0. Yeah. They're minus 250 to win the Big 12, plus 400 to win the title, which is the favorite right now. They've got two great freshmen. They've got Pete and then Burries, and I saw them play. And then at the senior guard, Jaden Bradley he's kind of took over Caleb Love there, and those three guys play at such a high level, and they're tall. They really look like an NBA team the way they play the game. I saw them play BYU the other night. BYU is a great dynamic player, AJ Jabonsa, who he's fun to watch, but he still needs to develop. He's only 18. When he went in the lane with some of these dudes, I mean, he was getting some fouls early, but in the second half, they kind of dominated him. They did make a comeback, BYU did, but Arizona's the team to beat for sure.
Yeah, and then finally, this is not your grandfather's Arizona team. We're so used to Arizona having hot starts and then kind of falling on their face or having some disappointment, but this does not seem to be the case. They're the number one team, like you said, and KenPom too. They're third in defensive rating, which I love, and then they're fourth in offensive rating. So, yeah, just insane. And like you mentioned, they do it by committee. They've got 3 or 4 guys here averaging double digits in points, and that's what you need, that depth, you know.
And it's not your grandfather's Houston team either. They're 18-2, plus 375 for the Big 12, and plus 11-1 for the title. They've got the senior guard Sharp, was great in the went all the way to the final last year. But they got this Frosh Flemings. These two guys are an incredible duo. They can score. They're third in defense, but this team can score like they in the past. That's always been the knock on Houston. Who gets those buckets in big spots? And they're at the top of KenPom as well.
Yeah, they have 4 guys that are averaging right around double digits. Chris Kanak Jr. or Sanak, whatever, he's at 9.2. But then you have, like you said, Uzan, Sharp, and Flemings all in double-digit scoring. So definitely something you'd like to see if you're a Houston fan.
Yeah, they got a really good shot. Iowa State is
battle-tested,
18-2. They're plus 1,000 for the Big 12, 20-1 for the title. Texas Tech is great. JT Toppin's one of the best players in the country. They're 16-4. They're 12-1 to win the Big 12, and then 35 to win the title. And Kansas is still in this? Oh, Kansas, that's right. They're in the Big 12 still. They've got the freshman Darren Peterson, who they're kind of saying that him and AJ Devonsa from BYU are the 2 number 1 picks this going in this year. We'll see if that's true. He can really score. And then BYU, who did go down against, they just didn't have enough physicality for me against Arizona, but they are going to beat a lot of teams because they can just shoot the ball, and Devonsa can score from everywhere. They're 30-1 to win the Big 12 now, even though they're 17-3, and they're 35-1 to win the title. So I like that team for like Sweet 16.
Yeah, and they're young. They'll develop as the season goes along, and you'll think you'd like to see a little bit of bump out of that too.
Yeah, they got Richie Saunders, who was on the team last year, made a deep run, but he was getting beat up by those other guys. By what was the dude? Bradley. Bradley was just owning him. In the second.
And they're a little top heavy though. They have 3 guys that they're 17.5, 18, and then 23 on their scoring, and then it just drops off a cliff. So that'd be the only thing I'd worry about I'd be worried about with BYU is, if their guys get a little cold, they might be in trouble. There's not a lot behind them,
Once he gets in foul trouble, then it's over. He's kind of like the straw that stirs the drink. He's definitely more like a, Cooper Flag type player where he's going to make his teammates available for better shots. If he gets down, they were doing good, stop his penetration the other night. Now in the SEC, another pretty tough conference. We've got Florida, who's the champs. They're the defending champs, but they're 15-6 already. Early in the season, they lost a lot of those early matchups, but they're a huge team. They're really tall again. Condon's back, and they've got a lot of big guys. They're minus 150 to win the SEC, 20-1 to win the title, which seems like good value for a team that returned a bunch of people. You've got your Calipari team, Arkansas, 16-5. They've got a Frosh named Darius Acuff. This dude is a stud scorer. He can score at will. I think he's over 20 points a game. So, like Devonsa and Cam Boozer, like they're leading their scorers, leading their teams as a freshman.
Yeah, no, he has over 20 points a game. He shoots 41% from 3, that's pretty salty there. That's tough to handle. And Arkansas has got a lot of good balanced scores. They've got 5 or 6 guys here that average right around 10 points or more a game. So that's definitely something you like to see. And then if you look at Ken Palm too, Arkansas, they're 6th in offense, but their defense, of course, with the Calipari team, it always comes down to defense. So they're 55th, unfortunately. So they're going to have to score the basketball to keep winning games. So, but that seems to be the pace of players. It seems to be like the way to play basketball in the SEC, and nowadays anyway.
Yeah, like Alabama, as you just mentioned, we've talked about
Alabama, Auburn,
they can score the ball. Can they play over any defense? They score the 6th most points of anybody in the country. I'm sure their rating's pretty good, but they're 13-6 because they can't keep anybody from scoring.
Yeah.
The team that surprised me on this list is Vandy. I mean, Vanderbilt was good in football, right? They must have a new athletic director.
No, the NIL, they're the one school that has benefited the most from the NIL because everybody's now looking at the actual, the gravitas of the actual university or the history. Like it's known as the academic school in the SEC. So if they're going to pay you money and you're going to get the best education, then why not go?
18-3 for them. They're 10-1 to win the SEC and they're 35-1 to win the title. They got a trio of scorers that all put it up, and they're all like juniors and seniors. So they've kind of got that mode that in March that usually serves better than the freshman teams, but we'll see what happens. And then A&M is 16-4. 6 guys average double figures. This is a team that just tries to outscore you every single night. Rashawn Agee is their leader. And then the last 2 teams, Tennessee and Georgia, they'll both probably make the tournament. Georgia scores the 2nd most points of anybody in the country, but I don't think they're going to do much. I mean, we'll see if they can play defense.
I'm trying to look up Vanderbilt's NIL allowment or NIL collective.
They have a deep endowment, the Vanderbilt family. They made some cash back in the day.
Well, then they got to have a lot of rich donors too. They got to like I said, it's the best academic school in the SEC, and it's not really that close, you would say.
Exactly.
But I can't find any good numbers. But I'm assuming they've got some good donors and a lot of money to throw around to the programs down there.
There's 3 other teams I want to highlight outside the power conferences. We've got the Zags, of course, Gonzaga Gonzaga. 21-1. They're pretty much a lock to win the WCC this year. St. Mary's is good, but not as good as they've been. The Zags are minus 1,000 to win the West Coast Conference, 20-1. So they play this weekend. So maybe the St. Mary's can shock the world. They do play.
Santa Clara is out there too. They're playing pretty frisky.
Yeah, we'll see. But they've dominated. Their only loss was to Michigan this year, although they lost by 40 in the game.
Right.
So
that's right, because they lost by 40 and then turn around and they were the first team in history to lose a top 10 matchup by 40 and then turn around and beat another ranked team by 40. Yeah.
So they're a good squad. Their metrics are good, but the problem is, they're not going to have the battles that these other teams have in their conferences and their conference tournament when they get to the big show. And then St. Louis, dude, 20-1. 20-1. They're locked to win the A10. They're 20 minus 2,000 to win the A10. They're 125-1 to win the title. Their lone loss is to a Stanford team, and they score the ball as well. You're kind of getting a theme here. These best teams, that they're 8th in scoring. Like, they basically score the 8th most points per game than anybody in the nation. And then the last team is
they scored 90 a game. That St. Louis team,
Redhawks, baby. Miami of Ohio Redhawks, 21-0.
Oh yeah.
They don't even list them winning the MAC, but they probably could still lose the MAC. But they are the highest scoring team in the nation, points per game. Maybe not efficiency-wise. They don't play any defense, and they haven't played a tough non-conference, but they're 21-0.
They only allow 75 per game, so it's probably not as bad as you think. But they score 94 a game, which is just pretty salty. That's pretty good. I mean,
they got pushed the other night, though. They only won by like 3 points the other night. So it was like 89-86 or 86-83. It was a really high scoring game.
Yeah, I gotcha. They 86-84 to UMass was that. And they had another comeback as well, because I think they barely beat Buffalo. They beat them 105-102. Again, no defense. Defense is definitely optional with this team. But they have 6 scores here in double digits, and then basically the 7th guy is at 9 points per game. So I don't know if that tells you actually the team is really good, or if they just play, a not very tough schedule. It's tough to say. Because if you're looking through the schedule here, the most impressive win is I don't know, Ball State, Wright State, Bowling Green, Buffalo, Kent State. Yeah, I don't know who the best win on this. I can't even tell you. Air Force, maybe? I don't know. Trinity of Illinois.
Trinity. It's going to be a clash of styles if they play like a rough and tumble team. Let's say they play a UConn or something in the second round. It's going to be a clash of styles, and can they just run and gun and shoot it up against lesser teams? If you play a team that plays with very few possessions, it can work in their favor because maybe they can turn the game up. But obviously, if they can't get rebounds and missing shots, so we'll see what happens. But I'm rooting for them. I love that they're undefeated. There's only a couple undefeated teams left, and they're one of them.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's going to be a matchup game. Like, it's going to depend on who they get matched up against and things of those nature.
That's right. So the player of the year odds at this point, I don't know if I updated this, but Cam Boozer is the prohibitive favorite right now. Devonsa's second, and when I say prohibitive, he's like minus 560 when I looked up earlier this week. Devonsa's plus 450. Braden Smith from Purdue is like 11-1. Toppin is probably, I don't know, maybe not the best player of this group, but he's a really good player, 20-1. And then Iowa State's Joshua Jefferson, also 20-1. So, look, I wouldn't bet on these things right now. It's like they've already given it to Boozer. It's like Cooper Flag won last year. We're going to do this one. We'll see what happens. He is a golf ball player. I mean, I watched him play, and he plays both ends, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and that's usually what she said. But yeah, it's good and he's got the Duke name behind him too. That I'm sure that's got something to do with voters. And then, of course, last name Boozer. Like, they're gonna kind of, I guess, kind of have that last name built in a little bit. But to your point, he is a good player. So
yeah, and I mean, Carlos was at the game the other night. Sitting in the front row. Whatever. He's got his Duke and it's kind of a crazy story. I mean,
what a life that must be.
I don't have all the details of this because I want to go super. I do remember seeing a documentary on it a while back because they have an older sister who had like sickle cell or something. She had to get a bone marrow transplant when she was very young. And so she's survived and everything. But it's like, I think she did. I hope so. But anyway, it's like they came after and had the success. Like, as a family, they've had to go through a lot. So I'm happy to see the success for the family.
I think it's a lot like the Mendoza story. Everybody talks about how Mendoza is such a very down, he's got all this stuff around him, but he's a very down to earth person. And you can kind of tell with the story of his mom and like what they've gone through as a family. And, it seems to be kind of a common thread with these great athletes is they have kind of something they've experienced from a personal standpoint that has helped them level up above their peers when it comes to sports. So
for sure. Like to see it. So what do we got going this weekend? You doing anything fun?
We're doing the Wolves game Saturday night. They are I think there is a theme, and I cannot remember what it was off the top of my head, but they're playing. Oh, it's Star Wars theme. That's what it is.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Star Wars theme at the Wolves game. So I'll be there covering. I think Linnea is going to go with me as well. And then they're playing Grand Rapids, who is the best team in like the AHL has ever seen. So hopefully they can grab a win there. And then outside of that, probably not too much going on around the household.
How does the season run for the AHL? Is it the same as the NHL, or is it shorter, or is it?
It's a little bit shorter. Their All-Star break is coming up the second week of February.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think I might be able to check it too. By the way, Grand Rapids this year is 32-5-2. They've lost 5 games all season in regulation. So.
Wow.
67 points through 40 games, which is they have a 17-point lead in the division, by the way.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I think the AHL does play 82 games.
Okay.
That may not be right now that I think about it. I think they play maybe 70.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a little bit shorter. But it's still a grind. I mean, they're traveling pretty consistently, and they get, like I said, they get a week off for the All-Star game coming up in Rockford. Which I won't be at because I'll be in California. But yeah, I know, right? Work. So, but no, it's fun. There's a lot of skill, a lot of good players. Some of the guys you'll definitely see. With the Wolves, they're the Carolina farm team. So
yeah,
they do have Bradley Nadeau, who has kind of been a word of trade talks here recently. So we'll see if he gets moved. Maybe he'll get brought up to the NHL with a different organization. Carolina is pretty good and pretty deep right now. So there's just not enough room sometimes for these guys. So, but no, there should be a good time. Star Wars. I mean, what can be better than a Star Wars themed hockey game?
Are you gonna wear your Darth Vader helmet?
As soon as I find it, yeah.
There's a picture up here. So
Stormtrooper.
He is Darth Vader back there.
Yeah.
The kid is Princess Leia. That was an all-time. One more thing I was going to ask you was that so next week, I know you have your own, Between the Benches podcast. You've covered the Olympics. You're going to give us some like betting insights to the Olympic hockey next week, or are you just going to keep that to yourself?
No, we can definitely run down that a little bit. By the way, the AHL season goes until the end of April. It looks like April 19th is the last day of the season for the AHL. Right now, it's tough not to bet with Team Canada. That's what I would say. They've won 3 out of the last 6 Olympics. They've basically have won back-to-back Olympics with the NHLers playing. So this is the first time since I believe 2014 or 2018, one or the other, that the NHLers are allowed to play again. So when that happens, I think that's probably the one country that benefits the most from the NHL players playing is Canada, just because they have obviously all of like 75% of the league is Canadian, I think. Something like that in the NHL it's just insane. So it's hard not to bet with Team Canada. If you had to pick an underdog that wasn't the USA, I would maybe lean towards Sweden, just because they have the skill, they have the goaltending, and then the style of play. They're very gritty. They're a very close checking, tight checking team. So they're going to throw the body. They're going to be very physical. And then, if they're going to win, it's going to be a 2-1 game or something, very low scoring most of the time. And then even Finland, you could throw in there if you really want to get frisky, depending on what numbers you get. But they broke it.
Did I hear this correctly, that the stadium or the ice is narrower? It's narrower?
It's a smaller rink. So it's not as long and it's not as wide. So it's about 3 foot shorter than a normal NHL rink, and it's about 2 foot narrower. Like the neutral zone is non-existent in this rink, in this arena. So
that would favor a Sweden, like somebody a little more physical.
It should favor the U.S. That's the team that should really be able to benefit the most. The U.S. by far has the best defensive core out of all the teams at the Olympics. And the way they broke it up this year, they used to do just 2 groups at the Olympics, where it's Group A, Group B. But this year it's 3 different groups, which I think is going to be a little bit actually helpful for Team USA. It's going to help them stay away because they usually run into Team Canada, in the first round or the quarterfinals.
Sure.
They can't get them like in the finals or in the semifinals or something like that. So hopefully that'll help a little bit for Team USA. But when you look at defense and goaltending, Team USA is by far the top of the list. I mean, they've got the reigning Vezina Trophy winner, the back-to-back reigning Vezina Trophy winner, and Connor Hellebuck.
Let's go.
And like I said, the best D-core. They probably had the best offensive defenseman as well as a group. Obviously, Cale Makar plays for Canada. He's pretty good. But as a group, that no one can really touch the U.S. when it comes to defense.
Let's go. We got a shot.
So, and they literally have built this team to beat Canada. That's literally the only that's literally the only thing, because they left Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield at home, and those are the 2 highest American goal scorers dating back to last year's NHL season even. So if you there's a lot of questions surrounding that decision. So it's going to be very interesting, because if Team USA goes out there and lays an egg and, maybe they get bounced in like the first or second round of the tournament and they don't have the greatest showing, and maybe it's, it's kind of a dud from a scoring aspect. I think you could see some very stark changes to Team USA in the next kind of international hockey cycle.
You heard it here first.
A lot of things to look forward to.
There you go. I don't have a lot going on, buddy. I'm just
going to the gym, baby. That's all I'm doing.
I will plug the other podcasts, and so many people listen to us. Primetime College Hoops, baby, on the whatever you call it again, the
PCSN.
PCSN. Yeah. So I'll be hosting that tomorrow around 4:00. We are live. You can comment on
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, to tease my hair or something.
Yeah.
So we'll
Prime
see.
Coverage Sports Network. Yeah.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. PC. What is the PC?
PCSN
Sports Network. PCSN Media on X.
Yeah.
But so we'll try that out. I'm going to play volleyball on Saturday. I'm getting asked to go out tonight, so I may go out tonight. I'm not drinking, so what's the difference? Sure, I'll show up somewhere, drink a mocktail with you. So,
nice.
I almost got lured into going to Money Gun. She opted to not. I'm like, I'll go to Money Gun, but I'm not drinking. She's like, just one. I'm like, just one. Are you kidding me? That's not happening. That's waiting until the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, I would go off. But anyway.
Yeah. Are you itching to go back to Rivers yet? Has that kicked in?
A little bit. I talked to Prime. What did he call? Yesterday or the day before? And he of course said, "Yeah, I know. I've lost the touch.
You got to keep it. You got to keep that arm.
Your wrist is stiff. I got to
give him the bullpen. Got to get him."
Well, it's true. When I start doing push-ups, dude, like my wrist gets all messed up because this angle. But anyway, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So he told me this whole story. Prime tells the whole story. He's like, he goes down to Miami. Woe is you. You missed the entire freeze of Chicago. And he said when he landed on Monday or Tuesday, it was 79 or something there, and it was like 6 degrees here. So it was like 70-degree flip. But he told me the whole story because he went down for the races, the horse races, and then he went to Hollywood Casino, and then that was packed, and he went to some other one, and he was kind of getting beat, and then this guy next to him went off, so he kind of left up money. And guess what? This dude's flying to Ireland like tomorrow.
Nice.
He's going for the weekend to go to some races in Ireland with Alistair. So we have to get those guys back on maybe next week or something.
Yeah. I should ask him if he's hiring, honestly. It sounds like I want to do whatever he's doing. Like, It's
not the appraisal. He's just, using his cash to do it. So we'll see. I'm a little itching. I'm trying to do that group to Rivers, in a couple of weeks. I'll put another. I've gotten a couple yeses, so we'll hone in.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to throw. I mean, it's actually been pretty good. I feel pretty good. A little bit boring, a little bit regimented. Get my 7 hours of sleep every night, feeling great, but can't wait to be hungover someday and get 3 hours.
Okay. By the way, is that not the worst flight the worst? Because you got to think, getting on the airplane, he's got he's got his jacket, he's got layers on, and then you get to Miami and it's it's 80 degrees, and then you got to take all these layers. Yeah, that's the worst. That was the only complaint about traveling to warm weather places right now, leaving Chicago is. Yeah, you have too many clothing. You have too much clothing on when you get on the plane. That's got to be the worst. Because
when we used to go to Florida for those years, I would just basically change in the bathroom at the airport, and then you're good to go. You just have to have it in the carry-on section. You get your change of clothes, get your bathing suit on, get your tank top on. put your ball cap on. You're ready to go. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, because I'm a sweater. I get off the plane, I'm like drenched. I've been, sweating my ass off for 3 hours sitting on the plane, and then I'm just like, man, I'm just gonna go outside and sweat some more. So yeah, that's fair. I can understand. I maybe should put that in the shed.
What was you sad to be going to California?
It's like Fresno area. I think Tulare, I think is technically where I'm going. Yeah. So, but I have to go up to Wisconsin next week. So that'll be a trip. I got to go like 6.5 hours north of here to go meet somebody. So
what? That's far.
Yeah.
From UP or something?
No. Yeah. Well, no. Basically, going right to the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Oh, that's up.
Yeah,
that's
East Lake, Wisconsin, or something like that. I think. Never been, but it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be a heat wave. It's gonna be like in the 30s up there.
I'm gonna take my shirt off, go for a walk. It's 29 degrees. Let's go.
Polar plunge. Ayo.
All right. Well, follow us at Side Action Pod on X, Side Action Podcast on Instagram. Follow me on both X and Instagram at Wegspool.
Yeah, make sure. And then don't forget about TikTok either, for love of God, whatever you do.
Don't ever forget to not do the thing that you're supposed to do.
Don't ever think about it. And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we're the Side Action Podcast. We hope everybody has a lovely day, lovely week whenever you're catching this, and we will see you next time.
Next time.
Yeah, love you guys.